Okay, time for some man time.
Exodus 21. I want you to pay close attention to 3 and 4. If he came himself alone, he shall go out himself alone. If he were married when he came, then his wife shall go out with him. This means he is a free man. So after his tenure of 6 years, in the 7th he shall go out free, because he's a free man. He's a servant, not a slave. It also means if he were married when he came in as a free man, his wife is also free. So when he leaves, then his wife shall go out with him. This is what free people do. That is built and meant only for free men and women. However, if his master hath given him a wife, which is implying that the master has authority over the wife already, which means the wife that the master hath given him is not free, which then means either she is a slave or she is a daughter. And she hath borne him sons or daughters. The wife and her children shall be her masters, but he shall go out himself alone, which means the children that are born through the mother, through the wife, through the slave or daughter, belongs to the master, not their father and not her husband. This is also the same when it comes to the baby follows the belly law. Baby follows the belly law was a 17th century colonial American legal doctrine declaring that a child's legal status, slave or free, was inherited solely from the mother. Not jointly, solely, not shared, solely, not even primarily, nope, solely from the mother. Enacted to ensure the perpetuation of slavery, this law, particularly in Virginia, legally defined enslaved children as property of the mother's owner. This means if your father is free, you don't inherit any of your father's free status ever if your mother is a slave. Which means when you're born into slavery, not only are you born into slavery forever because your mother is a slave, but there's nothing your free father can do to free you. The origin of it is the principle originated in Roman civil law, not natural law. Civil law, legal statutes, and was adapted in American colonies, starting with Virginia in 1662, to solidify hereditary racialized slavery. Did you catch it? It is to make sure that people are slaves when they're born through slave women. Purpose: it allowed white male slaveholders to benefit from the increased property, children born to enslaved women, even if the father was a free white man. Did you catch it? Even if your father was free, it ensured that you will not be free. So natural law dictates and shows that the child is hereditarily or an inheritant of the father. But civil law makes it to where the child is inherited through the mother. So this is why in society, especially Western societies, our brains are backwards, because we follow civil law and we're taught out of and away from, to where we don't even learn that there is a such thing as natural law. Impact: it broke with English common law, which typically followed the father's status, and ensured that slavery was a permanent hereditary condition, turning reproductive capacity into capital for slave owners. What you're not understanding is the reason that they give your mother the say-so, the status of your inheritance, the reason you inherit her status is because the counterpart of a slave is a daughter. Did you catch it? The counterpart of a slave woman is a daughter. You see, daughters are under the authority of fathers and or mothers. Slaves are under the authority of masters, whether that be a man and or woman. This is why when you marry a daughter who refuses to stop being a daughter, if she leaves you, she takes your children to her father and or mother, and they raise your children under their inheritance, under their status, how they see fit. No different than the slave woman raising your children under the master's status, the way the master sees fit. When you marry slaves and or daughters, those children nor that woman is yours. They belong to her master. Anywho, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let's get the conversation started. I'd like to know if you're learning anything about how we're taught out of our nature and into civil societal norms. And until next time, man time out.